Finish him. That's what I heard. That's what I heard when I dropped into your energy, Cancer, for your solar return quest wildcard read, where we're going to have a look at what this next year has in store for you. This is for Cancer Sun natives, but if you do have a strong Cancer placement in your chart, you might find something of value for you here, but this is the birthday read I like to roll out for each of the star signs here on BroadCoven, and I just wish you lots of blessings in the year ahead as you make this next trip around the sun, Cancer. But I think things are going to be quite interesting. There's some kind of showdown energy here, some opponent that you're facing off with, and I feel like you're going to overthrow this oppressive force that maybe has been hot on your tail for eons, I'm hearing, and this is the lifetime when you finally settle this score. I do feel like you're going to achieve this through a particular strategy that you're putting in place. And I think that strategy is something that you're formulating as we speak. All right. So we're going to open up first with just getting an overarching theme of your quest for this year ahead and the twists and turns it may include. And we'll dive right into it, right? Let's see what is coming in here for Cancer on this quest as they make this journey of the Fool to open up a brand new cycle with the year ahead. And it looks like you're facing off with an opponent here. Let's see what we got coming in here, Cancer. Bottom of the deck, energy, spider, community, and web weaving. So I feel like this is a trap that's being set, and you're doing this quite masterfully. You might be using your connections in order to do this. There might be a deceiver that you are catching in their own web of lies. There's something about you're very carefully and craftily building the light here that's creating some kind of exposure to a manipulation that's been going on here. And I do feel like somebody is about to come to an end here who has been plotting against you. And in turn, a new cycle is about to begin for you on the other side. This is the basis of the matter. Ooh, and that flipped over right away. Yeah, this is something that goes way back with the mummy here. You may have felt like this character had an oppressive force on you, that they restricted you in some way. You may have even felt that you were bound by this character, and so in some way were inhibited in your free will to be able to take certain actions or move forward. This could be connected to a past life. There could be connections to Egypt. I have something coming in here about whoever this character is. They could work with the high arts, and maybe they work within that pantheon, the Egyptian pantheon. That might give you a clue about who you're dealing with here. But I do feel like you're seeing something that you didn't see before. And what you're seeing is a way to escape their snare. All right. Interesting. So this is a karmic energy that you are facing off with here. It's not your first time at the rodeo with this figure, and I do feel like there's some brilliant scheme that you're hatching here, and it is coming through like that. And there's many details, and there's many movable parts, and there may be many people that are connected to this, but I do feel like you have a golden idea whose time has come. You may feel like it's getting pushed a little bit to the 11th hour, but very soon here, you're going to find the way through to alchemize this energy. 14 coming in, that's that temperance energy. There could be a Sagittarius connected to this, whatever this is. It's not being resolved in the usual way. You are going beyond normal with this. And yes, you know there's some high stakes here. You could be dealing with quite a slippery character. It's hard to see because it's kind of cloaked here, but there is a serpent in the background here. So there's something here where you may feel like you're playing with fire a little bit. I do feel like there is a risk. Again, playing with fire. There could be a Sagittarius connected to this. There could be an Ophiuchus specifically connected to this, because With that serpent energy, we do have Scorpio is represented by the snake on the medicine wheel. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio in relation to this too, but Ophiuchus are Sagittarians that are born from November 30th to December 18th. So they could be factoring into your situation here. This could be somebody that you had connection with on a romantic level in the past. I'm just noticing the heart there, but there was also something that was a little bit tempting. I do feel like there was some life force energy lost here. Somebody took a little bit more than they gave, perhaps. There's a risk with taking this on, but the reward is high too. Okay, so I feel like you're hedging your bets in relation to this. Like, there's some kind of oppressive force that you feel like in order for you to really be able to move forward and spin that rough hand of fate into the stuff of your destiny, you have to be a little crafty and you have to employ some kind of strategy here. Okay, so let's see what this is about. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Swords. Okay, so this is somebody that you could share a past connection with. This is somebody who's highly intelligent. They have razor sharp discernment. I don't think this is some dummy you're dealing with here. And there could be a past connection. Again, you could have been romantically involved with this person in the past. I do feel like this character can suss things out. So that might be why there's some risk involved in this situation. You could be dealing with an air sign too, okay? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's check this out. Let's get some details here. Tell us, what is the nemesis or spirit ally that is on Cancer's side in this next trip around the sun as they face off with this fierce opponent? It looks like somebody that is not going to be the easiest to overthrow. This person is quite sharp and discerning. They have a very high acumen. King of Swords usually doesn't play around. This person may be a bit detached at this time or have gone a bit cold. All right, and maybe that is something that's a bit of a challenge to work around in this situation. Let's see if you've got more opposing forces or supportive forces on your side here in relation to this character. What is the nemesis or spirit ally on Cancer's side in this next trip around the sun? A couple more shuffles here just to get this deck properly seasoned. And we'll dive further into this. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Bottom of the deck. Yes. This is the key in order for you to achieve some kind of freedom from an oppressive force. This is somebody who holds a lot of power. They may have held a lot of power over you, not just in this lifetime, but in many lifetimes. And I do feel that there is some kind of freedom to be gained here, maybe for two, but first this one needs to be overthrown. I see that Taurus energy coming in. Okay, let's see what this is. What is this? I do feel like you have spirit on your side. Okay, so you got the fates are on your side in relation to this. They know that this is your time to transform what's held you back in many lifetimes into the stuff of your destiny. But see, they just allot you the thread to weave as you so choose. It's all up to how you use your free will in this situation. So what is Cancer dealing with here? What is Cancer dealing with here? Do they have more opposing or supportive forces on their side? What is the nemesis or spirit ally on Cancer's side in relation to this particular character here? Somebody in a position of power. This could be somebody who also has some kind of high-ranking position. They could be somebody who works for the government or holds some kind of official status. Ooh, King of Wands in reverse. This could also be quite a crafty wizard who does misuse their power. I mean, it is coming out in reverse. This is fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We already had Sagittarius introduce itself. This is somebody who is using too much force. This is also somebody extremely willful. They have their sights set on something and they are hell bent on achieving their aim here. So this is a nemesis that you have to face off with here. Let me get some more details about this nemesis for you. This is somebody who's causing some problems for you. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, they're ready to defend their position too. And I think you're starting to see this. This person's not going to budge so easily in regard to this situation. Whatever they're doing here, it's been causing some kind of loss, some kind of disappointment for you. I do feel like it's imbalanced though, and you're out for justice here. And they're about to F around and find out. Like I said, there's something you're about to discover here that's going to affect your strategy and how you move forward. It puts some kind of power in your hand, and you're going to play that hand, and you're going to play that hand well. Okay, so let me get some more details about this for you. Could be Libra energy in the mix as well in this situation, or somehow connected, related to this situation, since we do have justice coming out there. Okay, so let's see. This could be related to a legal matter, especially with the Hierophant that came out. So there could be like some kind of dispute going on, some kind of legal dispute, some type of contractual agreement. Something here is corrupted. I see that very clearly with the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there's something here that is not the victory that it was supposed to be. And that comes out totaling 17. So Aquarian energy could be involved in this situation. Somebody's been in a very fixed position and they've wanted everything their way. And this is kind of creating a scenario where it feels like there's no hope. Somebody's been wandering in the valley of the shadow for too long, searching for that star. Searching for that star and feeling like they don't get any rest, with the Four of Spades coming up in the shadow. But this is coming to an end because this totals to the world. And so there could be a fixed sign in play here. You could be a Cancer, Leo, Cusper. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio that already came out. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Taurus came out very strongly too in relation to this matter. All right, any more details about this for Cancer? What would be the ally to Cancer in this situation? That's what I want to see. Let's check this out real quick, Cancer. What would be the ally to Cancer in this situation to be able to out this corruption and overthrow this oppressive force? What would be the ally, the spirit ally for Cancer in this situation? What would be the ally for Cancer in this situation? What would be the ally? Woo! Lands right in your lap. Ooh, use your fire as your ally. You do need to bring your fire forward with the Queen of Clubs. Coming up in the light, I do see that you're in a position to be able to wield your fire wisely. You have earned the right to hold a certain power because of your clarity of vision. So I do feel like you used to be connected to this individual here. There was a direct correlation between the two of you, but maybe you recognize some kind of corruption or distortion on their part. Something came to light for you, and this is why you want to get a handle on this. Some kind of corruption, misuse of power came to light. I see it here very clearly. And it could even be that you know that somebody has been working with those high arts in a very nefarious way. You could be dealing with quite a crafty wizard here. Oh, they've been throwing a lot around. I see that with the Eight of Clubs. They've been working this situation, certainly, but you do have the strength to overcome whatever they're throwing at you here. I see it. there's some kind of celebration that will be in store for you as long as you continue to wield your fire wisely. Okay. So this is going to take will on your part, straightening by fire. You got to play the long game here. You got to be focused here. Okay, let's see what the lay of the land is for you here. What is the lay of the land that is being negotiated here by Cancer in this next trip around the sun and facing off with this character who's been using too much force, trying to force their will? In some cases, throwing around quite a bit of spiritual work with nefarious purposes, okay? So let's see what's going on here. I do see, Cancer, that you're operating out of the light force energy, and there is some favor on your side here, especially where you felt like you have been restricted. I do feel like you're going to get the ability to move forward. These next 2 months are pivotal. August will be a very game-changing month for you, okay? So you need to pay attention here. I do feel like there's some kind of plan that you're hatching here in order to get to the other side of this situation. And you may know that you have to be a little bit crafty about how you move, because this particular character here may have quite a few people in their pocket. Again, it comes out, yes, okay? This is the key for you, the Hierophant. Hierophant, the Hierophant. Come here, Hierophant. Come, step into my parlor. Are you going to bait them in? You might. You might bait them in. There could be two here that you need to be aware of. They could be connected to a Taurus. There could be a Taurus in the mix. This Taurus may have distorted this King of Wands vision in some way as well, because they have some kind of power over them, perhaps. Perhaps they're also held back by this force here too, okay? They may be getting prodded on to sort of come up against you by this Taurus character, or whoever this is that's in a position of power, maybe even has some kind of like legal authority or position that gives them some sway, that's kind of turning this person upside down. That's possible. Let's get some more details here. Give us a lay of the land for Cancer here. What are they dealing with here? What kind of territory is Cancer moving through here in relation to the situation? Justice. There's justice rolling out here. This is a karmic situation. If there's a Libra in the mix, the Libra is operating upright. That needs to be understood with justice coming out upright like that. Yep, absolutely. We got 2 of Swords here, another Libra card. And you see the blindfolds on. Justice is blind. So somebody's made a judgment call here. This is a karmic matter. And there's some kind of alignment coming in here that does bring celebration. I see it very clearly. It looks like there could be a home that's protected in this situation. Somebody's kingdom is warded here from any kind of interference. So if you felt like you had intrusive energy coming at you that was infiltrating your home or infiltrating a partnership here, I do feel like there's warding that's being put in place. Something's protected here, but there is some kind of karmic judgment call that's already been made in this situation. There's already alignment here. And if there is some nefarious wizard and their griffin trying to get through somebody's security to steal their treasure, they will be thwarted. Oh, it'll be nothing but disappointment for them. See, because there's 2 that are toasting here. It's very clear. Do you see? Basis of the matter. Somebody's plans are foiled here while another's plans are coming to fruition. But somebody is very, very relentless, and they're still invested in trying to figure out how can they overthrow this and how can they get their way. Okay, so you need to be aware of this. And so I think this is sort of like one of those cases where you need to have some foresight here. That, sleeping dogs aren't going to lie here. I mean, they may lie, they may run their mouths, but they're not going to lie. They're not going to give up. Whoever this character is, this King of Wands in reverse, it feels like they're connected to some kind of Hierophant character. Maybe this Hierophant character, you're trying to sort of like lure them in a little closer because you need to sort of pick their brain or see if you can get some information from them. I feel like in a crafty way, you may be keeping your eyes on this character too, because you feel like there's some cracks in the facade. You might find a little way through here, all right? But you do need to think about the long game here, all right? Because you have to do something to protect your investments as well. For some of you, this is protecting a home, or it's protecting something that comes from the family, a legacy. Now, there's a couple of birds here, a couple of sparrows that just flew from the south to the north. And then they quickly made a beeline back down to the south. Okay, so I do feel like there are two here that are trying to achieve a certain objective. And as they're going at it, they're getting warded and they're having to go back the other way. So they keep getting sent back into the south node with this energy. But they're relentless. They want some kind of victory here. So you do need to be aware of this. They will try to create disappointment in the future. So you need to be prepared. Okay, well, what is this about? What is this? What is this beef towards Cancer here? What's going on? What is the heart of this matter, or the meat of the matter? Oh, well, it's just outright subterfuge. This is sneaking, lying, cheating, deceiving, and just outright trying to make somebody else suffer. Okay, we got the 7 of Swords to the 3 of Swords. That totals the 10 of Swords, man. I mean, that's how your energy opened up, though. Like, I feel like there's something you're officially putting to an end. You will. In this next trip around the sun, you will. And there it comes again. Here he is. Hello, darkness, my old friend. There's that King of Swords. So I know this is somebody that you have been connected to in the past. And they're still up to their old tricks. They're still in this place. Look, these double 7s right here, you see? They are highly invested in this trickery. They want to cause some kind of pain, some kind of separation, some kind of downfall. Looks like in relation to a household or some kind of partnership here. Could even be within a marriage, all right? So they're very invested in this. They're very invested in this. They're not going to give up. And this character can be hard to read because if they're an Aquarius, if they got a strong Aquarian placement, or if they're a Leo rising, that would make them an Aquarius descendant, they have the ability to go really cold and detached, where you can't really read where this person's coming from. All right, so this is what they're up to. And maybe they feel like in some way, Cancer, you did something that sort of turned them upside down, like you humiliated them in some way, or you negatively impacted their reputation. So now they're kind of like out to get you in some way. They may feel that you turned on them in some way. And maybe at one point you were allies, but it's like you stepped into your empowerment, you stepped into your light. You may have even shined a light on something that was meant to be concealed. And that's why this character has it out for you, okay? Ooh, all right. Well, let's see your part in this, okay? Because we do have to look at your part here too, Cancer. What consequences will Cancer have to deal with in this situation in relation to their past actions that they've taken? Because if you were tied to this character at one point, there might be some stuff that you need to negotiate here. So let's check it out and see what comes through. Yeah, I mean, I feel like in the past, you were weakened. I see it here. Strength in reverse. You weren't in your strength before. So there could be some things you have to deal with from times in the past when you may have compromised yourself and your position by sort of going along with this King of Wands in reverse. Let's get some more details about this. You know, and it's possible that they manipulated you, right? that they didn't tell you the full story, that you didn't really understand what you were being roped into. So let's see what you need to do to sort of balance that out or negotiate that karmic territory there. It could even just be like you just made a choice that just puts you in a bad spot. And so now you're having to kind of deal with extricating yourself. It's interesting. Yeah, now you're having to deal with extricating yourself. That's what it is, exactly. You're walking away from this. You had a blind spot in relation to this person. You may be the kind of person that you want to believe the best in people, you know, and it's not easy for you to acknowledge something even when you're seeing cracks in the facade. I think it took a while for you really to recognize that no, I'm seeing this situation very clearly. Just with the King of Wands in reverse to come out with that King of Swords, I do feel like whoever this character is, they have strong air and fire in their chart. They really know how to work people. They're highly intelligent. And I think maybe you doubted yourself at times, but you finally found the strength to really trust what you were seeing here. And this is what you need to do. You need to walk away from it. You need to act on that wisdom. And it may mean that you had to break from a particular path or you're about to. And I said pack, but the piece of pact also wanted to come out. So you could have made some kind of like oath or some kind of pact or some kind of spiritual agreement with this character here. And it could be carryover from interesting. There's all these, it's interesting because I was going to say past life, but fast life wanted to come out. I mean, this could be somebody who lives kind of like a fast life, you know? They might be involved in some sort of shady stuff. They might move in a sort of covert way. They might do things that are a little unethical, but it sort of flies under the radar. There also may be something about this character that's enticing because of that. They're a little edgy. They're a little dangerous. You know, they wake up a certain part of you. But I do feel like you're like, no, you know, I'm fine with the slow, the mellow life. Like, I do feel like there's something here that you did see or that is starting to dawn on you. And you recognize that you're going to get caught up in this if you don't separate yourself from it. There's like some clear delineation point. It feels like it's a bit of a spiritual test or an initiatory point, you could say, where it's like, are you going to continue to go against the truth and go against what's been illuminated for you, even though your blind spot has been revealed and you've been able to see what's really going on in a situation? Will you stand up for what's right, even though it may sort of, on one level, put you in harm's way? Because I don't think having this character oppose you is necessarily desirable. This person can cause quite a bit of imbalance. They can cause quite a bit of disruption, maybe financially, maybe even with certain opportunities that you were banking on. They can create instability for you, and I think you know that. So this is something a little tricky to navigate here. I want to get some more details about this for you. I know you have the strength to overcome this. Yeah, this can really put you in your head. Should I do this? Should I do what I need to do to bring this to a close? Because there's, with the 9 of spades in the shadow, there's a lot of fear around this. What is going to happen to me? What is going to happen to me if I act on the truth? It's like really being afraid of the backlash here, but you have archangel energy on your side. Some of you really, 29 on the clock, 11. Some of you feel very connected to Archangel Michael here. There will be a way through, okay? There will. This is a test of your faith and your determination for you to act on what's right. There will be a way through. And where you do have fear, I think that you should welcome the ending of this situation, because it's what creates the transformation for you to find a way through and get to a rejuvenating cycle here. You may also not recognize how much certain opportunities and advancement has been held back from you because of your association with this. But I think it will become clear to you in the future here. With this energy, it does total 12. So again, this is a karmic matter. There could be a Pisces connected to this too, especially with the Eight of Cups. That's a Pisces card coming out here. This could be dealing with somewhat of a hidden enemy here, okay? Someone that you thought was your ally, but is proving to be a nemesis. And there's some kind of illumination happening here, but I do feel like there's an awareness of having to move very gingerly in this situation, because you've seen the way this character operates. Like, you know how down and dirty they can get. That's what I got. Okay? But it looks like you got the support on your side that you need. And on the other side of this, there is some kind of fulfillment for you that's been eluding you because of your association with this character here. Judgment. Judgment. And it will bring the world. It will bring closure. And on the other side of that, it's the initiation of a brand new cycle. It opens up the road for you, brings some kind of success on the other side. You may be surprised how much more smoothly things start to move for you once you extricate yourself from this dynamic. That's what I see very clearly here, okay? All right, that looks good. Yeah, you need to extricate yourself from this dynamic. This is what's going to free you from what has you feeling so restricted and held back at this time. And again, this is coming in with the 11 energy. So there's some strong justice rolling out here. And if there's somebody in this situation who's been moving illegally, there could be serious repercussions here. And I feel like you do not want to get roped into this. So the sooner you move away from this influence, the better off you're going to be. All right. Fortunes are hanging in the balance right now. So be wise about the way you move in this situation. You do have the force on your side, but don't let yourself get taken for a ride by this manipulator. All right. Okay. What is the power to be gained? I want to get a little bit more detail on this. What is the power to be gained by Cancer through self-mastery in this situation? If Cancer takes these steps, if Cancer moves away from this involvement and stands up for what they know is true, what is the power to be gained for Cancer in this situation? Look at that. Ace of Swords. You get to cut through the veil of illusion. You got justice on your side. There's some kind of victory in store for you here. It's all about you standing in truth, speaking in truth. This is Fragarok, the answerer. So you have the first treasure of the Tuatha De Danann, and you are guaranteed to have a victory here if you pull that sort of truth from its sheath. Whoever you point its tip at will have to give you the answers you seek. And I do feel like you're going to have the answers you need here. Very strong communication here. Strong way through to get to the other side of something that has been quite entrenched, quite illusory. And it could come through in the winter season, okay? Let's see what this is. What's the power to be gained for Cancer through self-mastery? Ooh, this is good. Look at this. Again, we got big Libra energy coming in here, so it looks like some kind of justice on your side. Justice on your side, and also here is this treasure with the 9 of Pentacles here. So the true gold of the Tuatha De Danann. Okay, you could have a strong air sign placement in your chart: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could also have justice on your side in this situation. Some treasure is secured for you. I see that. There's some riches, there's some reward that's here for you. This is also alchemy. This is you transmuting all of those lower vibrational energies and coming into a time of rapid growth. Or maybe all you've been feeling is like a sense of stagnancy or restriction. Interesting. And this could be due to a particular force that you have not walked away from yet. And again, we got the Page of Cups in reverse with the Hermit in reverse. Somebody who professes to be very wise, but they're actually not. Somebody who is using their powers in a distorted way. When we're looking at the Hermit in reverse, this could be an alchemist on the scene. Very strong Piscean energy coming through here. This is also South Node energy, Virgo South Node. There could be a Virgo in the mix of this situation too. If you hope to transmute this South Node energy, take this hand of fate and turn it into the stuff of your destiny, you cannot continue to hang out here, or else you will also go down with the rest of the parties involved in this situation. I see it. It's very clear that you need to turn this Hermit energy around. It's not wise to associate with certain characters because of getting sort of pulled into their karmic loop and the justice that's coming for them. It's wanting to be suppressed, so I know it's right on the mark here. This is suppression of truth. Something has happened here that's out of integrity, and there's suppression of truth. And in order for you to be able to free yourself from this, because I do see you're operating in the light. You came out in the light right off the bat. You need to act on that truth. You cannot continue. See, being in the Hermit in reverse here, this is still having association with certain characters. This could be a Pisces. This could be a Virgo. This is also North Node, South Node action. This is some association is keeping you tethered in the South Node, and you're meant to use the force of your will in alignment with the truth to cut through the illusion and activate your destiny here. And if you do, there's nothing but growth, abundance, reward here, and also being in a place of spiritual integrity. This is the goal of the Tuatha De Danann. This is the gold of the Tuatha De Danann. You will see it very clearly come the spring of 2026 when that very gold that you were seeking is put in your hand. But it's about you planting the proper seeds now. This is so, so, so important. That's quite a bit of power to be able to grasp here. It requires ethical movement. It requires acting on a truth. And it absolutely is talking about breaking ties from a particular association here that's highly problematic. Okay? Let's just see. What is at stake for Cancer and their party as they make their way up to that stone of destiny? What's at stake for Cancer and those they are meant to journey forward with here in this next trip around the sun? What's at stake here? Looks like there's quite a bit on the table, so it's really about being mindful of how you're moving here and who you're associating with. You got some questionable familiars right now that you need to suss out. If you're not aware of who those questionable familiars are at this time, you will shortly. I see it. It's very clear. What's at stake for you and your party, Cancer? Bottom of the deck. Eluding this betrayal. These are not good traveling companions. I don't know who you're dealing with here, but these are not trustworthy traveling companions. These people will throw you under the bus. These are greedy people with selfish agendas here. You need to be careful of who you're associating with at this time. Okay? There's a lot of loss. These people could steal from you. There's something you need to learn here with the Page of Pentacles. And I do feel like something will be illuminated here. It does look like there's some kind of like financial component. There could also be a child involved in this. Look, no love lost in walking away from this. And this is not. This is going down right now. Summer timing card. There is no love lost with spilling this out. It's very clear. This is not where the fulfillment is. There's something that's about to be revealed to you. It may even be something that's revealed to you around a child or something that's revealed to you around finances, but there's something you're learning here. And when you have this illuminated for you, you're going to recognize there is no love lost. This is not your party. Whoever you're teamed up with here, you need to be careful of who you're teamed up with here. Well, let me get some more details on that because I'm really curious about this. Let's get some more details about, yeah, look. There's loss here. There's loss of that treasure in relation to this. Coming in association with that Hermit energy, the Virgo energy. This is a South Node matter. There's some karmic connections here that are holding you back. Okay. Give me more details about this. What is this that Cancer needs to learn about? What is this that Cancer needs to see clearly so they can protect this treasure of theirs? Looks like you got some greedy, scheming people around you that you need to be aware of here. Nine of Spades. It comes out again. This is really big Virgo energy. And coming in with the number 18, that's the moon. Piscean energy. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Look at it. There's your treasure. There's your treasure. Your treasure is in jeopardy. There's something that's cloaked here. There's some kind of illusion here you need to see through. It could be the ending of you on a real level. Like, there's something here that is not right. And judgment is going to be called on this situation. It feels like it's people that you're connected to that you need to be aware of. There's judgment being called on these people. And if you get looped into this, it's like you go down with that ship. So you really should move away from whoever these people are as fast as you can. And you may already have an inkling about this. I see, like there's something you're already aware of here, something that feels nefarious, may even be illegal. It's coming in again. Queen of Diamonds. We've had strong Taurus come out. There's Virgo here coming out pretty strongly. Jack of Spades coming up in the shadow. This is like swift action being taken. Could be swift legal action. You don't want to be connected to this. King of Spades coming up in the light. Okay? I do know that there is somebody in this situation who sees things very clearly. It's coming through as an air sign energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They see things very clearly. The air is coming up in the light. There's an action that has been taken here by a Queen of Diamonds energy in the shadow, coming in with the Jack of Spades. The action they've been taking is potentially illegal. Could have something to do with finances. This could be something that you're learning about. Oh, and right behind that, I didn't see that. The Two of Pentacles, do you see? Creating instability, creating imbalance, trying to block something that is supposed to be received. This has something to do with a lover's connection. Two of Cups there coming in with the Nine of Cups. This could be two that have been working together to achieve a certain means, to an end, and slowing things down financially. See, you're supposed to receive this Ace of Pentacles here, but there's nothing here. There's nothing here. And that's because somebody's been tempted. Somebody's been tempted here with the Lovers. This is a crossroads situation that you need to be aware of here. What does Cancer need to do to steer clear of this crossroads and get a passage through to move forward cleanly here? I mean, everything has sort of been coming through as you need to extricate yourself from this situation, but it's like you're being loyal to people that you already have suspicion about, where you've already seen the way that they move, and for some reason you think that they're not going to play the same way with you. No, they absolutely will. Yep. I can't make it up. The King of Clubs coming out in the shadow is a crossing influence to what? To your movement forward. And what's coming out here on top of the Page of Cups in reverse? This has something to do with finances. This has something to do with what's due to you. This could have something to do with some kind of family money, some kind of inheritance, some type of property that's yours, somebody trying to seize your assets. It's a blind spot. You need to be aware of it's a blind spot. 10 of Clubs. It will create a lot of burden for you. All right? A lot of burden for you. And again, it's coming in with 18, the moon energy. Strong Piscean connection here. Strong, like, hidden enemy energy, karmic situation, something that's concealed. And you have to go through an initiatory process to get to the other side of this. And that initiatory process is stepping into the energy of the hermit, where you act on the wisdom you already have in this situation. You let that light within you guide you forward, and you go off on your own. You break from this pack, and that frees you from what's brewing for the judgment that's about to be called on this. Okay. Yeah, look. See, there's a hidden contract here. There's hidden messages. There's hidden agreements here. Hidden texts. Hidden clauses in documents. Be careful of anything you're signing right now. Okay? Go over everything very carefully, especially in any kind of legal proceedings, because I feel like something that was hidden is about to be revealed to you. It's coming through very strongly. All right, let's check this out. What's at stake for the new world that Cancer wants to call into being? What's at stake for the new world that Cancer wants to create for themselves in the next trip around the sun? What's at stake for the new world that Cancer wants to call in for themselves in this next trip around the sun? What's at stake for this new world that Cancer wants to create for themselves in this next trip around the sun? It all hinges on this. It all hinges on this. I'm telling you, I don't know who these people are to you, but these people do not have your best interest at heart. They will stab you in the back. There's not loyalty here. Until you end this, you're not secured the hope on the other side of the storm. I do see there's reward here for you on the other side of this. There's alignment to the Four of Wands. There's some kind of treasure that's preserved here with the Nine of Pentacles. There's some kind of hope for togetherness and maybe even healing within a family dynamic, but not until this is brought to a close. So I'd be very careful in relation to this. What's at stake for the new world that Cancer is trying to call into being here? Big Wheel of Fortune energy. But see, with the 10 of Swords coming out here, this is like, this Wheel of Fortune is going to run over these characters pretty soon here. So you want to be out of the way of this. I do feel like this is something that you could get roped into if you're still sort of like working with these people. Even though you may not have known like what was going on here, it could still get you caught up. Yeah, this is some big battle, man. And this is crossing energy. Do you really want to fight their battles? Do you want to fend off what's coming their way? There's a big battle coming these people's way. There's a huge battle coming these people's way. Do you really want to deal with this? Because this is you right now. You're like this wounded warrior and you're trying to hold the line, but there doesn't even need to be any fight, no conflict, no stress for you at all. All you need to do is let this go. And maybe it's hard to let it go. I understand. But you letting it go, it frees you from all of this. It turns everything around for you. Be careful, man, because something's brewing here. There's a major conflict that's brewing in this situation. Major conflict that's brewing in this situation. I want to do a cut of the deck on this because I want to see like what is at stake for you here. Your victory lap, your success, or you can have this. Wow. And that totals 11. Justice again. Do you see? Justice is going to strike on this scene big time. I don't care how much two people think that they've been getting away with something and it's been working out for them. They're about to find themselves on the rough edge of that sort of truth. And you can go down with them or you can have your victory lap here. It's very clear. And if you're not aware of this yet or what this is, it's arriving soon because you came out in the light. Like there's some kind of illumination coming through here for you. But if you sort of stay in this place of indecision, like, I don't know, should I act on it or not? Should I separate myself or not? Because you're sort of afraid of the backlash of this group, these people, you're going to regret it because you're going to get pulled into this conflict and you don't want any part of it, okay? So separate yourself from it because it will be balanced out for you. What's the cookie? What's the cookie for Cancer? What is the sweet reward if Cancer sticks to their guns and takes the rough action and stands in their truth, breaks from this intrigue, whatever this mess is, and acts in harmony with that truth? What is the cookie? What is the sweet reward that comes in for Cancer? What is the cookie? What is the sweet reward that comes in for Cancer? There you are. We got the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So I like that already because that's you in a strong position. All right, let's see. What is the sweet reward? I feel like right now you've been trying to just sort of like temper your emotions, trying to keep your emotions on an even keel so you can really tap into your intuition and feel this out. Maybe in relation to somebody who's approaching you, they might be coming off very sweet, very friendly. Yeah, some kind of communication that's coming in here for you. There's communication coming in here. Somebody is going to be communicating with you soon. I do see this coming in pretty quickly. 8 of Wands, it's fast moving energy. For me, it's never beyond 2 months from now. So this will go down within 2 months from now. Somebody's going to rush in to communicate with you. They might try to revive a situation with you. It's coming in with judgment. So we know that judgment is on the scene here, okay? It's been coming out all throughout this read. So this could be a Sagittarius. This could be somebody who comes forward and they really have a lot to say. This could even be like some kind of declaration of love or something to try to revive a situation with you, okay? But you need to be aware of this advance, okay? You need to be aware of this advance because I feel like there's something here that could get in the way, perhaps. So this is coming in as the cookie, okay? So there's something that's coming towards you. Here she is again. this Queen of Pentacles, you got to be aware of this character. There's somebody here who is very fixated on your Ace of Pentacles, your new beginning, something that's meant for you. And so I do feel like you need to extricate yourself from a situation. Now, you could be connected to somebody who's not aware of sort of like what they're stepping in. And maybe they won't get the right perspective of it until you extricate yourself. And then they'll be able to see this character clearly, okay? When they see this character clearly, I think it may take them a little time, up to 2 months max. When they realize what's going on because you pull yourself out of this situation, they will come rushing in to revive things with you, because then they'll finally have clear judgment in the situation. It's almost like there could be somebody's judgment that's a little clouded in this situation because of some party involved here. It's coming through as a strong earth sign that's clouding their awareness, and it's around finances, something financial here. But I do feel like that it'll really turn in your favor. But there's sort of like this need for you to pull back here, because if you don't pull back, you're just going to get embroiled in a conflict, and then it's going to end up getting you caught up. It's almost like the deception won't be seen through until you extricate your energy from this, and then something turns around. And I do feel like this character that wasn't really getting what you were trying to tell them before, and maybe was even causing some blockages for you, will get a clue. It could be a Sagittarian. It's coming through really strongly, a Sagittarian energy, rushing in to communicate, maybe even with some kind of apology. I'm sorry I doubted you. That's sort of like how it's coming through. I'm sorry I doubted you. See, because they're going to be experiencing some severe loss here because of this character. It's somebody they're dealing with. Coming through as strong earth sign energy. Whoever this person is, it's either a business partner of theirs, it's somebody who controls their finances in some way. It's somebody who's very fixated on your Ace of Pentacles, your new beginning, your money, your opportunity, your stability. And they're putting you in this position where you're constantly like warding off one thing after another. And all you need to do is extricate yourself from it. I'm telling you, as soon as you extricate yourself from it, this character who's been problematic for you, it feels like it's strong Sagittarian energy. They may have a strong air sign placement in their chart too. I do feel like they'll get their discernment back. It's like seeing you sort of distance yourself and go, this ain't right. It'll make them question themselves. But because you've kind of continued to, be connected to this, it sort of gives them a pass. You know what I'm saying? That lets me know that this character has some kind of allegiance or loyalty to you, so you pulling back will be like a wake-up call for them. That's what I feel. That's what I feel, Cancer. Okay. What is the target that Cancer should fix their sights on in order to hit the mark in this next trip around the sun? I know that there's lots of reward on deck for you here, but it is totally dependent on you taking the right action here. Let these chips fall where they may. Just don't be there when the house comes tumbling down. I'm telling you, man, because there's something brewing here, and you do not want to be anywhere in the vicinity of this when this goes down. I see it very clearly. I feel like there could be a tendency for this Queen of Pentacles to convince this King of Wands in reverse to throw you under the bus. And you don't want to be put in that position, all right? So you need to be careful here. The truth will be evident, but not through you like bickering with these people or trying to go toe-to-toe in some kind of argument. There's too much manipulation here. There's too much misuse of power. It's too argumentative and competitive of an environment. Pull out from it. Distance yourself from it, and the truth will be evident. It is the thing that sets you free. Okay, so let's see what the target should be. Look at this. It couldn't be clearer. You need to move away from this energy. And if you have a child, you need to move away from this energy to protect your child too. Because there was that piece where there could be a child involved in this situation. Really important, okay? More details about the target for Cancer. More details about the target for Cancer. Just the way I opened up. You gotta put your strategy in motion, okay? I do feel like you're hatching this right now. If you're not aware of this at this moment, you will be very soon, and you'll know exactly what you need to do. Look at that. To close this cycle, to find the way through, to open the road to the new cycle. 1:44 on the clock, nothing but blessings and the manifestation of a way through for you that brings tremendous success. Again, you could be dealing with a Leo, a Taurus, a Scorpio, or an Aquarius in this situation. Let me do a cut of the deck for you to cap this off. And it comes out again, and then you'll be moving forward very swiftly, leaving this conflict, this drama, this argument behind. Let them settle this for themselves. Now, I want to look at this. What's behind this conflict? Do you see? You're meant to let it go and rest on Fragarok. Rest on that sword of truth and trust that you're being spared this pain that was plotted for you. If you continue to hang out here, because there's some Queen of Pentacles in this situation that she may be making it out like she's thinking of the group or what's best for the. No, this is somebody who's very fixed on what they can get out of this situation. If you act on this, you pull away from this, okay, you will find reunion down the road with the one who's dear to your heart. I see it. Soulmate energy here. It's almost like, I don't know if this Queen of Pentacles is crafty, if she's been working a little mojo on this King of Wands in reverse here, feeding into his ego perhaps, there's many forms of manipulation, but it's almost like his memory of who you really are is reawakened only when you flee this scene, because right now she has too much of a stronghold here, okay? That's what I see. That's what I see. Yeah, it's like he's cloaked from seeing the truth of you because she's been working him too much. But if you move away from this energy, okay, if you use your fire and your power wisely to illuminate the way forward in alignment with your truth, what's coming to light for you, it puts you in your power. Queen of Wands here, very independent, strong energy, and you do balance things out here. You alchemize the situation, and if there is a Sagittarius involved in this situation, I do feel like you balance things out with them down the road, and that road to the stone of destiny opens up for two. Godspeed.